Excel 2016, Module 1, Getting Started with Excel. This video covers pages 4 through 13. Open your textbook to page EX4 and read the first little paragraph introducing Excel and spreadsheets. Go ahead and pause the video and read it. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to go down to your taskbar and you're going to click on your Start button. Now, it depends on what version of Windows you have. Your book says to click on All Apps, but you can see that I have a different version of Windows, so mine says All Programs. Either one works exactly the same way, and it's going to open up all the programs that you have loaded on your computer. Now again, my Excel is right here. Yours could be in a folder down here under Microsoft Office. Okay, you just need to go and find the location of Excel on your computer and click on the Excel 2016 icon. Go ahead and read the bottom of page EX4 where it talks about opening an existing workbook. Okay, at the top of page EX5, to open the Game Card Financial Status Workbook. Step number 1. In the navigation bar on the Recent screen, click the Open Other Workbooks link. Okay, here we are in Excel. It says Recent. If you come all the way down here at the bottom, do you see where it says Open Other Workbooks? Go ahead and click on that. The open screen is displayed and provides access to different locations where you might store files. The Recent Workbooks list shows the workbooks that were most recently opened on your computer. Again, this is going to be completely unique to every computer because it just depends on what you've opened recently. Step number 2, click the Browse button. Okay, it says Open right here, Recent, OneDrive, This PC, Add a Place, and Browse. So, single click on Browse. Now this is the point where you need to navigate to your folder that has the data files for Excel in it. Mine's going to be completely different, so I'm going to pause this and let you go find yours. Okay, so you went and you dug down on your flash drive, or if you're at home on your hard drive, through your Excel files and your data files to Excel 1. Now do you see where it says Module? Double click Module, and then double click Finances. And that's going to open that up for you. If it shows up and it's squeezed down like this, just go ahead and maximize it with that button right there that says Maximize so that it completely covers your entire screen. Go ahead and turn to page 6. You need to read page 6 using keyboard shortcuts to work faster and getting help. Now at the bottom of page 6, there is some information about using Excel in touch mode, and all of page 7 has work for working in touch mode. We don't have touch mode on campus, so I'm not going to include that. If you have a touchscreen at home, you're certainly welcome to do this, but you will not have anything about touch mode in any quiz or exam in this class because we don't have it. Okay, go ahead on the bottom of page 7 and just read Exploring a Workbook, and on the top of page 8, pause the video, read just a few little bits about that, and then start it up again after you've read it. Alright, on page 8, to change the active sheet, number 1, click the Income Statement Sheet tab. Alright, here's our sheet tabs down here. We have Documentation, Income Statement, Expenses, Balance Sheet, and Cash Flow. It says to click on Income Statement. The Income Statement worksheet becomes the active sheet, and its name is now in bold green type. And you can take a look at figure 1-5 to see their example, and you can see it right here. It's in bold green. And everything else is kind of in gray, and it's what we call ghosted out. It tells you it's not active. Step number 2, click the Expenses Sheet tab to make it the active sheet. The Expenses sheet is an example of a chart sheet containing only an Excel chart. See figure 1-6 on the top of page 9. Step number 3, click the Balance Sheet tab to make it the active sheet. Note that the sheet contains charts embedded into the grid of data values. A worksheet can contain data values, embedded charts, pictures, and other design elements. Step number 4, click the Cash Flow Sheet tab. The worksheet with information about the company's cash flow is now active. Step number 5, click the Income Statement Sheet tab to make the Income Statement worksheet the active sheet. Okay, you need to be really familiar with doing this because as you're working through every chapter, the book is going to tell you quite frequently to change sheet tabs, and you don't want to be doing the work on the wrong tab. So make sure that you're comfortable with moving between those. All right, now please read a little bit more than halfway down on page 9 the information about navigating within a worksheet. Go ahead and pause the video and read that. All right, on the top of page 10, to scroll through the income statement worksheet, on the vertical scroll bar, click the down arrow button to scroll down the income worksheet until you see cell B36, which displays the company's net income value of $104,200. Okay, so over here is our vertical scroll bar. We have up and we have down. And it says to click the down arrow until you see B36. Here's B, here's 36, net income, and that's the figure they told us to look for. On the horizontal scroll bar, click the right arrow button 3 times. Okay, here's our horizontal scroll bar, here's the left button, here's the right button. 1, 2, 3. The worksheet scrolls 3 columns to the right, moving columns A through C out of view. Step number 3. On the horizontal scroll bar, drag the scroll box to the left until you see column A. All right, so this big slider bar, we're going to grab it, pull it to the left. Okay, it moves right and it moves left. We pull it all the way over to the left, and then we can see column A. Step number 4. On the vertical scroll bar, drag the scroll box up until you see the top of worksheet and cell A1. So we're going to grab our vertical scroll, pull it all the way up to the top until we can see cell A1 that says game card. Okay, just read that little bit of information in the middle of page 10. The bottom of page 10, to change the active cell. Move your pointer over cell A5 and then click the mouse button. All right, here's A, here's 5. The active cell moves from cell A1 to cell A5. A green border appears around cell A5. The column heading for the column A and the row heading for row 5 are both highlighted, and the cell reference and the name box changes from A1 to A5. Okay, so we're in cell A5. Do you see how the 5 is in green and the A is in green? And most importantly, what I want you to notice is the name box right here always tells you what your cell location is currently. And you need to be familiar with the name box because we're going to use it a lot moving forward. Okay, step number 2. Press the right arrow key on your keyboard. The active cell moves 1 cell to the right to cell B5. Press the page down key on your keyboard. The active cell moves down 1 full screen. Step number 4. Press the page up key. The active cell moves up 1 full screen, returning to cell B5. Press the control and the home keys. All right, your control key on the far left hand side of your keyboard underneath the shift key. Hold down control and then press your home button. And it's going to move you to the very first cell in the worksheet, which is cell A1. Okay, the top of page EX11, there's just a little paragraph to read. To use the Go To dialog box and the name box. On the Home tab in the Editing group. All right, we're on our Home tab. Here's the Editing group over here. Do you see it? If you weren't on your Home tab, all you have to do is click on it. We're going to click Go To. Okay, do you see it under Find and Select? So it's Find and Select, and then Go To. The keyboard command is right there. Do you see it? Come here, you. And it's Control G as in go. And that's going to open our Go To dialog box. Type B34 in your reference box. It says reference right here. It doesn't matter if it's capitalized, just type B34. Okay? And when you do that, go ahead and click OK. And you're going to see that it moved right down here and made cell B34 our active cell. Step number 4. Click in the name box and type A1. So here's our name box. Again, capitals don't matter. Type A1 and press your Enter key. Now, that moved us back up and made the active cell, cell A1. All right, at the bottom of page EX11, just read Selecting a Cell Range. And when you get finished reading that, go ahead and turn to page EX12. To select a cell range, click cell A5. All right, here's A, here's 5. Now, click on cell A5 and hold your mouse button down and drag to B, 8. That's called selecting a range. When you release the mouse button, the range A5 through B8 is selected. The selected cells are highlighted and surrounded by a green border. The first cell you selected in the range, cell A5, is the active cell in the worksheet. The active cell in a selected range is white. The Quick Analysis button appears, providing options for working with the range. You will use this button in another module, and that is right there, but we're not going to use that right now. Just know where it is and what it's called. Click cell A1 to deselect the range. Okay, deselect is a phrase I use all the time. When something is selected and we need to get rid of it, I'll tell you to deselect, and you just click on something else. In this case, they specifically told us to click on cell A1, so go ahead and click there. There's a little paragraph you need to read right there at the middle of page 12. All right, to select a non-adjacent range in the income statement worksheet. First of all, they said income statement worksheet. Get in the habit of flicking your eyes down and making sure that you are indeed in the correct active worksheet. And if you're not, you want to get there. Again, you never want to do a bunch of homework and have actually accidentally done it on the wrong sheet tab. All right. Click cell A5. Hold down the Shift key as you click cell B8. So we click on cell A5, and we are going to Shift, hold down our Shift key, and we're going to select cell B8. That's called a non-adjacent range selection. Now, hold down the Control key as you drag to select the range A10 through B14. So we're going to take our Control key, and we're going to go A10 through B14. And then you let go of your mouse first, then your Control key. If you let go of your Control key first, it's going to fail. Okay, so now we have selected our non-adjacent range. So we selected adjacent, then we selected another one that's non-adjacent because these cells in here were not selected. Click cell A1 to deselect. And we're finished with this one. All right, to close the workbook, on the ribbon, click the File tab to display the Backstage view, and then click Close. So File, and then we want Close. If you get a dialog box that asks you if you want to save it, please click Don't Save. That's the end of this video, and you're ready to move on to the next video.